Welcome to a new episode of the AI with Alaa podcast. Today, my guest is a builder, a successful entrepreneur, a businessman, a visionary, a father, and someone who I proudly call my partner because he was the first investor in Cognit. Wael Al Jamil, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Alaa. Glad to be here.
This is long overdue.
It is, but the good thing is there's more things to talk about, so
Absolutely.
glad to be here.
And I want us to talk about all of your projects. You're one of the busiest people I know in my entourage. But before we do that, I would like to give our audience a little bit of a backstory. How did you get here when you are running DALVE, investing in all of these nice ventures? Tell us the backstory.
Well, it's really, I mean, it's a very short story, but an interesting one. I've been in Dubai for the last 24 years. Was in the distribution business, beautiful business called Bitfood, along with my brother and some very nice, awesome people. We built quite a successful food and beverage distribution platform across the Middle East. And a couple of years ago, and thankfully to you, I saw an opportunity in an area of how can you really do much better and how can you unlock potential that's there by leveraging on some tools, one of them being AI, and really to scale, whether it's the business or the impact that you want to do. So I saw that opportunity and I started the DALVE journey. And you know, it's funny we're having this podcast today, but one of the biggest inspirations is my late father, who you know, today is his memorial. He passed away on the 5th of July 5 years ago. He was really a big inspiration to everything that's happening. You know, he was a hard worker, a father of 6, grew up in the war, and it really, you know, tells you that there is no excuse to hold back, right? And the only really person who can change or make impact is you, right?
Absolutely.
And that's the whole idea behind DALVE, is how do you unlock potential specifically of humans at all levels, right? So we're at a very interesting crossroad. It's been, you know, almost a year and a half now on this journey, and I can't say it's been anything less than amazing. So, and you know, the venture with Cognit is the start of it all. The unlocking is the start of it all, and what you brought to the table from, you know, seeing the unseen. Really, that's seeing the unseen and understanding the blind spots is what inspired this whole journey.
Awesome. Since I met you, and I met you when you were still at your previous company, you were actually one of my clients, and we were thinking about digital transformation and solving business problems with technology tools. But then this evolved to many conversations over coffee, and you were always interested. You always had multi-interests. You are interested in health. You're a gym freak yourself, but you're also always interested in health of yourself and the people around you. You're very interested in technology. You're very interested in data. And generally, you are a fountain of ideas. I always called you a fountain of ideas. And how did you bring all of these different interests of yours together and say, I want to build a fund or an investment or a business that ticks all these boxes? What was the thinking process behind, I want health, I want tech, I want all of it, I want to fuse it together?
So really putting all of this together is not a one-time a thinking process that I sat down and I said, okay, the idea kept evolving, right? Every single day there is something that inspired something else and a mistake that gave a different learning. The constant, I think, across all of these is three things, right? One is the availability of so much data, right? The second one is the advancement of technology, which makes the data actionable. And the third thing is the human element and the execution element to be able to put those two together into something that is, first of all, scalable, and most importantly, impactful.
Nice.
And that's what I ask myself and my partners and the co-founders and the colleagues and the family of DALVE is, before thinking of the technology or the business, think of the impact. How many people or businesses or lives or, journeys are we impacting along the way? That's the end in mind, right? And I always go back to the conversation that we had, and really, I thought you were going to come in to sell us a technology. And you came in and you said, hold it. I'm not here to sell you a technology. I'm here to help you find a solution to be able to do what you're doing faster, more efficient, and maybe more profitable. And that thinking said, okay, you know what? It's really not about the technology. It could be much simpler than that. If you don't understand, first of all, where you want to get to, and then really assess what's blocking that journey, you can't implement any technology.
Very true.
Right? And you might be overspending on technology or overspending on data analysis. But what's data without action?
Without insight, without action. Absolutely. I mean, we always have this shared belief that technology should not be just implemented as a cool thing or as an initiative for a PR exercise. If it doesn't address a real business problem, then you should invest elsewhere.
Exactly. And and then I looked at the one thing, again, along this journey, and thanks to the inspiration of many around me, said if there's really one thing that would make the biggest impact, it's people and unlocking their human potential, specifically in the health, wellness, the journey of how they become the best versions of themselves, right? Whether it's a father or a leader of an organization or, a mom, this is really the essence of what we're trying to do. So we said, okay, we know for a fact that there's so much data out there, Apple Watch or all these technologies that are coming up, Whoop, and all of them are lovely technologies. But if you don't put them to work, then they're as good as nothing, right? In 2000 and what, I don't know, when maybe 2009 onwards, there is available, advice on the internet on how to get healthier and wealthier, and it's available. But how do you action it? And then the more tools that came out, the more anxiety it created, because people, okay, they receive all these data from all the stuff that they're surrounded with. On top of that, you have the social layer with social media and, all these podcasts. Everybody's throwing out ideas and, and the average consumer gets overwhelmed.
Yes.
What do you do with all this data and all this advice? You sit and you re-engineer your whole life. And don't get me wrong, there are people that that do it. So what we said is we're going to take all that data, number one, assess it, understand it, then put it to work with the right technology,
Yeah.
and then execute it to the people. Like we said, data, tech, human deliver.
Awesome.
And that's really the idea behind behind DALVE, and that's why we're investing also in beautiful organizations that also understand and share the same vision. That AI specifically, if looked at and endorsed in the right way, could unlock so much potential,
Absolutely.
so much deeper relationships, such more efficient businesses that offer real-time solutions for real-time problems. And it's just about how to endorse it, and how to make it fit within your ecosystem.
Absolutely. طيب, DALVE is the main investment holding, and DALVE owns companies like Bionic, invests in companies like Cognit, like Social Fit, like others. Let's. I mean, everybody knows about Cognit. Those who watch this episode, this podcast, but they might not know about Bionic. So tell us about Bionic, that very interesting venture that sits at the intersection of health, longevity, and tech. What are you guys doing in Bionic?
So just before we start with Bionic, I will start with DALVE. A lot of people think the name is just a name, but actually stands for what we are trying to do across every vertical. DALVE is the D, and D is for disruption. If it's not something that's going to step change a way of doing things, we challenge it. If it's not ambitious, then it's not right for us. If it doesn't put us and whoever endorses it in a leadership position, that's the L. And then everything that we operate is driven by values, which is the V.
DLV.
When we go into our office, you'll see a picture of also my late mom facing me. And the reason why I put it facing me is because a mom will always be the best, if you want, compass for anybody. Take the right decision. And we always ask ourselves, is the business decision or the investment in line with the values that we all believe in? And finally, the E, and that's probably the biggest thing in DALVE, is obsession with execution. It's the only thing that differentiates great ideas and great, discussions from being a real thing.
Everybody has ideas. Everybody has ideas. Who executes is the real differentiators. We advise to a lot of startups, and many of them ask me, Alaa, how do I guarantee if I went and pitched to that investor or that VC, they're not going to steal my idea after not investing in me? And I answer to them is always, nobody cares about your ideas. Only you care about your ideas. And ideas are abundant. The successful companies are those who go and execute.
100%. In Arabic, there's a saying, "Bil-haraki baraki," right? And in many cases, and I'm sure any entrepreneur or any business leader would know that most ideas start somewhere, end up somewhere completely different, for all the right reasons. You execute, you fail, you learn, you learn quickly, you fix, and then you execute again, right? But to keep ideas and strategies and documents and back and forth in a boardroom between, a couple of people without really trying it, fixing it, implementing, is something. But then how do you execute perfectly, right? And that's really at every single touch point. Whether it's a consumer facing or a business facing, obsession with execution.
Yeah.
And that's really what
But well, I don't think in executing perfectly is a must. I think you should. I don't advise people to wait for perfection. I advise them to go with the first iteration they have and let the market give them feedback, and then keep iterating to get better and better with time. People who wait for perfection until they launch and they start selling are launching too late.
I'm very happy you said that, because and then again, this is what we always try to say internally. Perfection is the enemy of execution.
Yes,
Striving for perfection in execution
it's beautiful.
is beautiful because it sets the standards for you.
Yes.
Okay, not to go complacent and not to say, yeah, but because we want to execute, it's fine to fail. No.
No.
Strive for excellence.
Yes.
Strive for perfection.
Yeah.
Execute, fail, fail fast, learn, execute again. Right? And there's always learnings. But how do you capture those learnings? How do you not make sure, and how do you pass on those learnings? And again, this is how you can leverage on technology to make sure that all these learnings are captured, not kept only in, in a person's mind. But as you grow organizations and people come in and join you, and whether it's a partner or, a colleague or a customer, you need to share those learnings because it helps bypass a major, point and really do things better. So
All right.
that's, if you want, DALVE. And DALVE has
Disruption, leadership, value, execution.
disruption, ambition, leadership, values, and execution.
Love it.
So that's, if you want, the holding company. And then it has 3 arms under it. I'll start with the operational arm, which we'll talk about Bionic and the rest of the businesses. These are businesses that we operate and own. We have the investment arm, which are investments in like-minded businesses that add value in principle. It could be very deep value or strategic value, like Cognit. And third, and equally important, is DALVE Impact. And, that's one thing that we strive for before we do anything else, is how do we give back to the community, and specifically the underprivileged children of this world. You've heard me now talk a bit about, my father and my mother. I have 4 brothers and an older sister who are parents to me also. And I always, I have a gratitude journal, which I thank, the universe for having them, because they're excellent guides. And sometimes I say to myself, God help the people that don't have this. We're all blessed to have some kind of guidance. So DALVE Impact gives the opportunity for the underprivileged children to have a mentor, a level of support. So these are the 3 ecosystems that we have. And, we can start talking about Bionic
Yalla.
when you're ready.
Ready. Tell me about Bionic.
So the first vertical, Bionic, is actually now the core brand. Right. Bionic is an ideology. It's not specifically a product or a business vertical. It's an ideology. And the ideology is simple. Going back to what we said today. How can we unlock human potential?
Nice.
By understanding data, enabling technology, using humans to execute, learning, fixing, doing it again, right? So the gap or the problem that we're trying to solve is that, there's oversharing of data everywhere. People are just getting, all these data from blood work and tech products and all of that, and it becomes overwhelming to some extent. And at the same time, healthcare or wellness is fragmented.
Yes.
Siloed. You do your, your strength, your training, your cardio, your core, and you probably ignore 3 or 4 other categories which are as equally important as the rest. And you have physiotherapists who give you excellent chiropractic or chiropractor services. You have great doctors, you have great recovery tools, but each one is siloed. And then through personal experiences, we saw that there's a lot of blind spots that are missed. So Bionic was created as a way to look at humans, families, organizations from a holistic standpoint, right? We understand their body, how they work, their lifestyle, their boundaries. We assess as much as we can, and whatever data they might have that share, and then accordingly we create the right program for them, and then we execute with the right partners who are verified. So Bionic as an ideology is really about taking only that approach to it. If you tell me today, I want to travel, okay, get me a ticket. Where are you trying to go, right? And
what are your interests? What are your goals?
Exactly. And I've heard you talk about this, and you told me this many times. The outcome of anything is really directly, proportionate to the quality of the brief you get.
Yes, absolutely.
And you take that, apply it on any single element, whether you're briefing an agency on something. If you go to a restaurant and you want to order something and you don't know what you want,
whether you're prompting AI, the quality of the prompt.
So the quality of the prompt is really direct. So that's where we focus, understanding, assessing, and using all the data points and the data extraction points that are available out there. And you'd be surprised how much are available without knowing. So we take that and we put it into action.
So when we say action, we're meaning, let's say an executive wants to work with you, or a school wants to work with you, or someone wants their kids to work with you. You build a program that combines sports, that combines nutrition, that combines studying their data points from their watches and their health sensors, and combines their supplement, and it's a 360 degrees program that changes their lives and pushes them towards their goals.
The ideology is about having that holistic approach. Then Bionic is split into verticals. You have the program, which you just talked about, and that can go to individuals, it could go to athletes, it could go to youth who ignore many things. My son was an inspiration because they play football semi-professionally as kids, right? And they asked me once to lead a stretching session for them. 14 kids, almost 12 of them couldn't touch their toes. And just having kids being a bit more
out of shape,
a bit more mobile, a bit more mindset strength will really elevate the way that they perform as younger athletes. So the idea is, how do you install that program onto a client, whether it's an organization or an athlete, so that's the first vertical. And that's really the core behind it. The second vertical is what we call the Bionic Lab. Bionic Lab is a performance center built around the ideology. If you want to come and train, right, you need to go through a simple assessment process in order for your training journey to be as efficient and as fun as it could be. Getting to understand you as a person, whether physically or mentally, what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy, what time you like to come. That will help navigate the journey for you, because what we are obsessed with is the outcome, not the valuation or all this talk. Yes, business is a very important thing, but at the end of the day, it's what you are offering for that consumer or that customer to always come back to you and say, you made a positive impact on me. So the Bionic Lab is the performance center. And then we have in the pipeline Bionic Academy. And that's how we upskill the professional layer in the community, the trainers, the physiotherapists, all of that. And it goes back to the same ideology is if you want to genuinely become a trainer, you can't only learn about training. You have to, learn about psychology, about mobility, there's nutrition, there's several elements which make you a more holistic coach. So the Bionic Academy is created to upskill those people and insert a layer which doesn't today exist. The fourth is Bionic Circle, and Bionic Circle is a platform that allows for anybody in the wellness and health business to leverage on their relationships, on their know-how, to first of all make further impact and create more monetization entries. So it's simple. If you have a mobile phone and you're part of Bionic Circle, you can recommend a physiotherapist or a Bionic as a program, or anybody that would help impact your journey. And then you can get monetized for
Nice.
So Bionic Circle is really a community of referrals using a tech system at the bottom. And then we have Bionic Connect. Bionic Connect is a marketplace that connects professionals to consumers seeking professionals. You're a trainer, but you don't know what type of trainer is the right for you, whether the pricing. And again, it goes back to the assessment. Now, if I want to today recommend, a company for you to be able to work with, I need to understand you. So the journey of Bionic Connect starts with understanding what the consumer wants and then matching them with the right professional.
Awesome.
Right? And then there's two that are coming up. I'll keep them for next.
Those are covering every aspect of health, wellness. I also know that you are very interested in the topic of longevity. And you've been talking about longevity, and you've been discussing with smart people about this, and you've been attending conferences. Where do you think this topic of longevity going? Why did it pop up in the past few years, and how does Bionic fit into that picture?
I mean, longevity has now surfaced. But it's always been, equally important since, our great-grandparents.
The most important.
And it's much simpler than we think. But humans and society takes a very simple thing and makes it very complex.
Overcomplicated.
And that's because you can't really understand what's going on, right? Longevity is now an overused word. I happened to watch a Singularity conference in 2019, which talked a lot about the evolution of technology and how fast it's going to go with Moore's law and all of that. And the importance of, or the focus of longevity. People genuinely want to live a fuller, happier, healthier life for a longer period.
Very true.
People can live to 100 miserably. That's not what you want.
No.
And, people can not live for such a long time, but very content.
50 happy years, much better than 100 miserable years.
The idea behind what we're trying to do in this whole space is try to give you more meaningful years. And that's really as simple as that. If it's about recommending for you an amazing trip somewhere, which is a mixture of fun, of sports, of, touring. That's one way to live a more healthier, happier.
Absolutely. Experiences.
But really, the essence of all of the Bionic ecosystem is one thing. And probably, if you wanted to take out something for this podcast, this would be it.
This should be the title.
Is how do you go from a world that is overwhelmed with medicine and medical treatment and hospitalization and insurance and all of that to a world where it's preventive. Okay, I don't want to go into the science part of it. But if you do 50%, 50% or 20% of what we offer in Bionic, there is some kind of guarantee that you will visit much less doctors and, be in a better place. And in principle, governments and major institutions today, they suffer from this, because how can you today keep up with a world that is constantly needing more medical treatments and, whether it's physiotherapy or, you go to Europe and to be able to get a physiotherapy session booked, you need a month and a half.
Amazing.
And you're getting taxed 40% sometimes in some countries for healthcare. So how do you not get to that point? That's where we are trying to really take a problem which governments globally face, is that how can they not get to a point where healthcare is underserved? And the only way you can do it is be more prepared. That's why I talked about the blind spot before. Athletes, for example, they overtrain. And we know a lot of stories where young athletes, 16, 17, 18 years old, were about to get drafted into some football team. They tear their ACL or something. And then the story is they tore their ACL.
And that's it.
But the fact is they tore their ACL because they did not focus on the mobility aspect of it. And that's why the best athletes in the world today are the ones that were gymnasts before. Look at LeBron James, look at Cristiano Ronaldo, look at Messi. 3 stories that everybody's talking about. What's different? Why is LeBron James operating at almost 80% of what he did when he was 35? Now, why? Because genuinely, the guy spends a lot of money and a lot of attention on taking care of himself. And it doesn't mean he sits in a room and doesn't. No. He has a glass of wine with his friends. He talks about things that he has fun. He goes to concerts, but he also takes care
of his body, his mind, his health. And that's what Bionic wants to do. Bionic wants to create, healthier individuals, healthier societies, healthier humanity in general.
And more importantly, not only creating healthier, but unlocking a potential that people didn't know exists. Really, when you are healthier, when you are happier, when you are more fulfilled, when you are really, try it yourself. Go for a workout in the morning and then go to work. You'll see that your energy, your frequency is on a different level. Now imagine you're running an organization with 500, 800 people. That trickles down across the whole thing. And the opposite is true. So really, we're trying to unlock that. And our promise is that we are never married to a single technology
or brand
way of doing it. The only thing we are married to is how do we offer the highest impact and the most immersive transformation journey for the consumer. Our obsession is how do we get our consumer to be unlocked to their maximum potential.
It's amazing.
So we might unplug or plug something. We sit at the top.
You orchestrate.
100%. We're sitting right there. So
brilliant. And with this, we will take a quick break and continue in a bit. So before we started recording, you were telling me about this concept you talk about, which is the concept of wave and the human wave, and you used a very nice analogy that I told you I want you to say it on camera when you start recording. Talk about this wave analogy.
Yeah, I mean, in any business, in any startup, in any change of the way things are done, you look at what you're facing as a wave, right? We all go to beaches or oceans or whatever, and sometimes there's big waves that come your way, and there's two types of people in this world. One that stand and try to face the wave face to face, and they get hit and tumble and fall and get up again, and it's perfectly fine. And there's others that enjoy it. They go under it, they ride the wave, and they become part of it, right? And that's really the essence of AI today. Everybody, keeps talking about replacing humans and, all of that. In fact, this is the continuum of multiple waves that have, come through in the last maybe 100 years.
Yes.
The industrial age or the technology age, and all of those are waves,
Yes.
right? And what they did was they just unlocked human potential further. And today the wave is the AI wave.
Yeah. How do we surf it?
How do we surf it?
Yeah.
How do we enjoy it? And how do we unlock maximum potential
Yes.
across multiple facets?
Yes. So I want to talk about this part, which is how do you serve this new AI wave, right? And I want to address it from your personal level and from the business level and the wider economy and society. Let's start by you. How does Wael use AI in his day-to-day life? What does work? What doesn't work? What do you enjoy?
So, first of all, I think the biggest impact that AI has had on me is the ability to do things more efficiently in order for me to spend time more efficiently.
Yes.
Time is the single most valuable thing
Absolutely.
ever.
Absolutely.
And I talked twice about my parents, and I say it again, is that this journey in the last 5 years taught me that it's the only thing that never comes back.
Time.
The only thing. Time. So how do you use it more efficiently? And it's a connected ecosystem. You do things better and faster and more efficient at work, then you're able to do much more across all of the ecosystem, whether it's spending time with your family or
Yes.
doing the stuff for health, or a lot of people that we know don't have time for themselves because they're over consumed with tasks that are outside of it.
Yeah.
So today you do things more efficient at work. You have time to be able to do
Absolutely.
things that you love. And I'll go a little bit deeper. I'm someone who really believes that whatever the situation is, always say Alhamdulillah. Thank you.
Be thankful.
Be grateful. It's good to look up, but it's always very important to also look down sometimes and understand that we're all great. We're all, lucky in one way or another. So I took that and I created, with the help of, my amazing agents or friends, Claude and ChatGPT, I created a tool called Grazi. And it's a tool that I used for myself first.
Nice.
Which I developed into a simple web page / app. And every day it starts with, a 1-minute breath work, a gratitude journal, reminder of where you were, where you want to be, and you just log it in, and it becomes a habit. And I started doing it myself. Then I gave it, to the team, Some use it, some don't. So that's one.
But can we mention to our audience that you are not a coder? You did not use Python or Java or anything to build this app. You built this app because you had ideas and you just worked iteratively with Claude or with ChatGPT, and you built this app without you writing any line of code. This is crazy. This world did not exist 3 years ago.
You know, I'll tell you something, and it goes back 110% to you. Okay, we were sitting in this office and we were looking at an investment in a company, and 2 hours before that, I had signed a proposal for a major firm, major as in, you know, not one of the big four, but a major firm that said we'll lead the process, we'll do all the analysis of
The due
data room,
diligence
the due
for the
diligence,
company you're planning to invest in.
and I signed. And it was the day that Claude Cowork
Came out, yeah.
and we had our weekly meeting, and you came in and you said, dude, did you see what Claude Cowork and you showed me an example of how to, you know, use a file, and you left at 2:30, and I uploaded the data room onto Claude Cowork, and within 45 minutes I had a full analysis with recommendations, with multiple scenarios
Amazing.
of how to, or if to, invest in this business or no.
Hello.
And really, that was the moment. That was the aha moment. I said, wait a second. What did I do differently now than I did everything before? The prompting.
Yes.
How you ask it.
Yes.
What you ask it. And what kind of language you feed it. And that's when the journey started, where, and I share it with everybody because, please, if you are listening or, you know, and I'm happy to talk about this in a different episode, but if you're going to invest in one thing, invest in prompting. If it's in your organization, in prompt engineers. If it's in yourself, in how to write the right prompt, or how to develop an agent that writes the right prompt.
Yeah.
But that changed everything.
Everything. But what has the biggest impact is people who have subject matter expertise that can work with AI on something. So let's say you know exactly what you want from an agent who does due diligence or financial analysis or scenario simulation. So your prompt was very clear to the AI, and the combination of you knowing what you want and the AI capabilities of today resulted this magic. Someone else who doesn't know what to ask for might not get the same result, even if they're using the same Claude Cowork. We'll also always give another example, which is our friend and partner, Shahzad Yunus, creative genius, filmmaker. He works with AI tools to create films. Give those same AI tools to someone who's not creative, such as me, and I will produce AI slop videos suitable maybe for social media. He produces Hollywood level films. So it's not about the tools. The tools are now democratized. Everyone in the world has access to them. It's how to talk to these tools. And if you clearly communicate with them, and if you know what to ask them, you will get magic.
Yeah, and I think there's 2 points which I want to highlight there. The tools, yes, there's a lot of tools. But me, for example, like you said, I'm not a coder. I'm not exposed daily to what's out there. I'm lucky and blessed to have, you know, our relationship and your expertise and Cognit's team always flashing and telling me there's a new tool out there. There's this that you can incorporate into this. There's a sea of different tools and a sea of different tools coming out every day to help facilitate this. You need, you know, expertise around to give you those ideas. So first of all, how to identify what the right tool is for that moment. That's the first thing. And the second thing, and like you rightly said, is the tool will always be there. It's how do you feed it, or how do you mix your know-how in the tool. You said the example of that creativity, and I love that. I come from a marketing world. I worked with P&G for a good 5 years, and I've seen the time and effort it takes to build an ad. Talking days and budgets and catering and models and where, with a tool like, the AI studios, the Cognit studios, what Cognit Studios gives you is all of that combined in amazing quality, speed, adaptability, and change that is faster than anything else. Because if you want to reshoot an ad, you're talking hundreds and thousands of dollars.
And impossible scenarios. Imagine you want to shoot on Sheikh Zayed Road with horses. Yeah, you can't. It's not a money or a budget issue. You're not gonna be able to do it. 100%. You can do it with AI.
So instead of really spending your time on the production, spend your time on the creativity, the communication ideas.
Yes.
On gathering the right insights that give you what the consumer really needs, putting that into an idea.
Yes.
I'll give you another example now for Bionic labs, for example. When you want to open a performance center, you spend a lot of time sourcing, negotiating, and putting the right, for this gym, I want to have these machines and that. And we made it super clear that our time will not be spent on things that we can do better with AI. So we developed a procurement tool, right? We got everything from our managed suppliers. We uploaded it on this file. And then we uploaded another platform which you can put your 2D or your 3D drawing of your performance center and the look and feel of how you want it. So what it does is it generates how you want your lab to look like, what are the equipment that need to be there.
Beautiful.
Generates the BOQ, interlinked with the supplier. The price is already there. You negotiate it once a year, and you have an LPO.
This could be its own startup. This could be its own product.
Yes. And the reason why we're doing that is because we don't want the amazing talents of DALVE and Bionic to sit there and, where's this product? What do you think goes here? Let that system do it. Let's focus on solving the real problem, which is how do we get consumers unlocked?
Absolutely. And look, in a world where everybody has access to the tools, the differentiator is the taste and the subject matter expertise. Yeah. And speaking of innovation, speaking of creativity, we're sitting in an office that is a testimony to your innovation, to your creativity, to your taste. It's homey, it's beautiful, it's well lit. It doesn't even look like a regular, workspace or a boring corporate office. But you also, in addition to the hominess, you added a nice artistic touch, which are all these photos, surrealist or unrealistic photos that you created to inspire those who work in this office and those who visit this office. Yeah. There's a photo here of Usain Bolt racing Lewis Hamilton. There's a photo in there of Serena Williams, young Serena Williams, getting an advice from an older Serena Williams. And there's a photo inside, which is my personal favorite, which is Elon Musk learning from the Wright brothers with a silhouette of a reusable rocket in the background. Yeah, tell me about these and tell me what they mean to you.
So the whole concept and ideology of whether it's Bionic or DALVE is, how do you bring an idea to life, which unlocks potential of a person and a community and the whole idea. or a generation. And let's take, for example, the picture of, and we'll see it now, a picture of Elon Musk looking at the first drawing and the first plane of the Wright brothers, and behind them there's the SpaceX. That started as an idea almost 100 years ago.
Yeah.
A simple idea which traveled through to become today a tool that is taking us from planet Earth to Mars and the moon and beyond. And I'm sure there will be more people that will come up and build on that idea. The picture of Usain Bolt with Lewis Hamilton is another one. That heart always beats machinery.
Yes. Unlocking human potential is your motto, not unlocking tech potential.
100%.
Yeah.
There's another picture in there of, Alexander Graham Bell. Instead of the late Steve Jobs presenting the phone, behind them there's J.K. Rowling and
Jeff Bezos.
And the idea behind that is that, what Alexander Graham Bell started as a phone became the iPhone, which, all of us today cannot live without that, or, whatever other tool. But then there's the delivery and the storytelling.
Yes.
And you said it correctly. J.K. Rowling is a storyteller. And if you don't have the subject matter expertise to tell the story in the right way, and then you don't have the execution of distribution and putting that idea into people's hands, then it's just another idea that sits in some shelf that is never, executed.
Yes.
And then how they are presented as pictures is the use of AI to bring the ideology to life.
Beautiful.
Taking
the symbolism.
To AI is a tool, an amazing tool, but it will never replace humans. It will just make them 1,000 times better if you use it in the right way.
طيب, a young Serena and old Serena, Ali competing against himself. So many stories, so many morals, so many lessons from these. What does the Serena photo mean to you? What does the Ali photo mean to you?
So, young versus new has many thoughts. And I've had people who visit who all saw it from a different angle. When I did them, it's the idea of you versus you.
Yes.
Right? And if you really want to ever have a self-reflective moment, just ask yourself, what would yourself 10 years from today tell yourself today? Or what would your younger
self need you to tell him?
100%.
Yes.
Right? Unlocking human potential starts with you only, and accepting that the only limitation sits here first. It's mindset. So that's the idea behind, these two legends.
Nice.
And here, specifically with Serena, there's also Oprah Winfrey sitting in the back and applauding her. And here it's how to incorporate also
the mentorship.
Not only the mentorship, but inclusiveness. Inclusiveness. Maybe until now, there are some communities and some organizations that are overly represented by male versus female. And this picture right there is, and there's Princess Diana, who is great on impact. And, she had such a big voice, not because of the money or the tech, but because she genuinely made impact. And this is about inclusiveness.
Nice.
And not just with females, but also with race, with ethnicity, with religions. And there's one picture which I love here, and it means a lot to me, which is, first of all, I'm a rap and hip hop fan, but with Biggie Smalls and Tupac, who died at the age of 22, 23.
Yes.
And, both their mothers had to bury them. But the picture is both of them, painting the Mona Lisa, which is the greatest piece of art, ever recognized. And sometimes it shows you how small conflict stands in the way of greatness.
Yeah.
And we go back to unlocking. And part of unlocking is unlocking emotional intelligence and sometimes focusing on the good in things rather than the bad, and bypassing things that stand in the way of human potential.
Beautiful symbolism. It all converges into your life philosophy as a person, as a businessman, as a father, as a husband, and as an active member of society. Well, this is the part of the podcast where I call on my assistant and co-host, Layla, to come and join me.
I know Layla very well. I've met her
I know
many
you do.
times.
Hi, Layla.
What's on your
How are you today?
So, Alaa, what's the topic of the day? I'm ready to jump in whenever you are.
Okay. I think there's some update. No, she seems more eager than usual. Okay, Layla, I'm going to open the camera. So this is me. This is the studio. And this is our podcast guest today, my partner, Wael. Say hi to Wael.
Hey, Wael, nice to virtually meet you. I hope you're ready for a fun and insightful chat.
We're wrapping up the chat. We've had a nice hour of conversation. Wael told us about his story as a builder, as a businessman, and about his ventures from DALVE to Bionic, at the intersection of wellness, health, technology, data. His motto that he keeps repeating is unlocking the human potential. So, in this context, what kind of question would you have for Wael?
Well, since he's all about unlocking human potential, I'd ask if you could peek into the future. What's one human capability you think we're not fully tapping into yet, and how would you unlock it?
Mm-hmm.
I think the one biggest human potential we're not tapping into yet is the innovation and mindset, explosion within people. There's so much in their minds. That is being hurdled or stopped because of many other blind spots that usually are missed out on. It could be fear, it could be mental things, it could be relationships, it could be, they're working too hard or not having time for themselves. So if we had to do one thing, it would be to unlock the mindset, which will then trigger the unlocking of anything else. I call it lock in. So how do you lock in laser focus on getting yourself and those around you to operate at maximum capacity?
Beautiful. The superhuman wave. What do you think about this answer, Layla?
Honestly, I think that's a powerful answer. Unlocking the mind can be like turning on a whole new engine. I'd say Wael has a future in coaching superhumans.
Brilliant. Wael, what question would you ask Layla?
Oh, I'm all ears. Hit me with your best shot, Wael. Let's see if I can keep up with the human potential you're unlocking.
So, Layla, if you had to build one ecosystem which would unlock human potential, what are the three major categories you would focus on the most and why?
I'd say first, education, because knowledge is the ultimate fuel. Second, mental and physical well-being, because you can't unlock potential if you're running on empty. And third, community, because no one unlocks their best alone. Why? Because when you combine knowledge, health, and support, you've basically built the ultimate human power grid.
Beautiful. She's very well aligned with your philosophy. She could be a good employee of DALVE. She believes in your value system. Awesome. Thank you, Layla. That was good. That was powerful. And with this, we get to the end of our episode. I mean, we could talk for hours, you and I, and we do occasionally and frequently, but this time we got the chance to film it for the world to peek into our discussions and to learn more about you as a person, as a leader, about DALVE, the investment powerhouse, about Bionic, and about your vision for a better society and a better human potential. Wael Al Jamil, thank you for sharing your story with us and your vision with us, and thank you for being a part of Cognit's journey to the largest AI company in the region.
Thank you. And I think I'm the one who should be grateful for all the unlocking and the belief that you have in what we're doing. And, I hope we can maximize our impact together.
Absolutely. Thank you.